wait. And we're live. How many think we're going to have tonight? 12? 6?
I mean, max, I think. 28.
Nah, I don't think we'll have 28. Well, we did, 20-something the other time? Last 2 weeks ago?
Like 25.
Well, we got 2 so far. How's the sound? Is the sound okay? Every time I put this mic in, I get worried that it won't work that well. The delay on this thing too is, I think it's like 30 seconds. I should probably pull it up on my phone. And
most streams are usually like that.
Sound is good. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do it to, people streaming some crazy stuff or live, feed and whatnot. So
yeah.
I didn't put out like usually I put out like hey, I'm going to go live later. We didn't do that today. We just threw out whatever. See who shows up.
It got dark out quick.
Yeah, I wonder if we get some heat light in today.
It's pretty humid.
All right, we're getting there. We got 3 now. Up to 3. What's been going on this weekend? Those who are in the chat. Anything good going on this weekend? Dan, what's up, buddy? Glad to see you in here.
Oh, I know it's upstairs.
What are you looking for?
It sounded like someone was in the bed of one of the trucks, but it's probably upstairs.
Oh, yeah. You don't know how many people are going to get in here today. It might be an intimate session. Only 2 people plus us, 4 total. We can go play golf instead. We got 4 now. I'm up at my camp in the Adirondacks for the week. Nice. I used to go up to Lake George back in the day. I loved it there. Really nice. Upstate New York's really nice. Adirondacks especially. Putting meth injection on my notch this weekend. That's actually something that I would like to do on this thing. How's that, Aaron? How's that project going? I know the Holly can run meth injection too. But that's good. That the meth injection is good for especially boosted cars because it helps keep the intake air temps down. Which today on the dyno, we did a dyno session today, and at idle, my intake air temps, they climb pretty high, like 160, 168, I think I saw at one point. And then once I start making a pull, it dips pretty quick. It gets down to like, I think 106, 107. Plus, it was hot today too. I mean, it was upper 90s. So the fact that we were only, maybe 10 degrees over ambient temperature, it's pretty solid. Pretty good so far. Went with AEM. Yeah, AEM makes good stuff. I've looked into that one, and I forget the brand of the other one, but the AEM one was the one that really looked. It looked like the one that I would invest in. So, are you going to have like a trigger to turn that on, or is it just going to be running all the time? Or would Dan say, great in the summer, nice too, good in the winter? Yeah, that's the one thing I miss about being up north, like New York, New Jersey area, is the summertimes. The summertimes down here is brutal. Just sitting here, I mean, I'm just sweating and dying. But the summertime up there, I mean, I love it up there. I'm a cold weather person too. I like the cold weather. I like the snow. When it first snows, I don't like the after effects of snow when it turns to slush and they start throwing dirt and salt and all that good stuff.
The worst part about snow is shoveling it.
Yeah. Well, you got to earn your stripes. So do it. And then when you have kids, you make them go out and do it. Luckily, we don't have to do that here.
My mom's driveway is.
Well,
luckily, the neighbor has like one of those.
Oh, a snowblower?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just gotta wait till they get over.
And they're still flying?
Yeah.
I didn't remember hearing them last time. Let's see. It's boost reference. It's progressive with the amount of boost it sees on that. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured it would work off boost. So that's really solid. I've never looked into how to set one of those up, but definitely beneficial. Keep those intake air temps down, keep the combustion a lot cooler, keep the thing from blowing up. Dumb question. What is meth injection? I thought meth was a drug. Well, meth is a drug, but in this case, usually it's like a water methanol mixture, which is like, it's similar to basically what like windshield washer fluid is. And pretty much it gets sprayed into the intake. And because on boosted cars, especially like positive displacement superchargers, intake air temps get really, really hot. And so the meth injection will actually cool the intake air temps down. So one, you're going to make more power, but then two, it's going to keep it safer. Because in reality, when you start having higher intake air temps, right, basically colder air is denser and it burns better, more complete. Whereas hotter air, so like on my tunes, once I get intake air temps start climbing, the car actually starts yanking timing out, for safety and whatnot. So meth injection on a boosted car is money, and it's one, it's going to make a little bit more power, but two, it's more so a safety feature. So it's definitely a great investment. Let's see what we got. Johnny Be Good. So I'm doing gears next week, going from a stock 273 to a 355 on a stock motor. What should I realistically expect as far as 8th mile or even 0 to 60? So Johnny Be Good, I would ask, is your car stick or automatic? And to be quite honest, the 273, so here's an example I'll use. One, you're going to see a difference. It's going to depend on how you drive. So with my 86 coupe that I had, the gear that I took out of that car was a 308, and I ran the quarter mile. It was a stick car. I ran the quarter mile in 12, what did I do, like a 12.4, I think. And then I put a 390 gear in it, which was a much shorter gear. And I went the same exact time in the quarter mile, same exact everything. But in reality, I mean, I'm not that great of a driver, so it might have just been me. But say you're doing an 8th mile. But then again, 8th mile, do you remember the video I just did? Went from a 410 down to a 331, and the car ran the same exact time. So on a stock motor, I think it'd perform better on a stock motor. I would say 8th mile, you probably look at a 10th or 2, which if you extrapolate that out to a quarter mile would be much better. 0 to 60, probably the same, like a 0.1 or 0.2. That's my guess. Rob, what's up? Loch Ness Fox in the house. Hey, Dan, how's everything going today? Everything's going pretty good. We took this thing out to the dyno, down to the underground garage. I rented Josh's dyno for today, just a couple hours. One, I wanted to check the tune, which we did a little playing with it. The tune was basically spot on to where the car was performing it's as good as it was going to at. But we did find out that we are well out of fuel pump when we try and turn this thing up. So I really wanted to take the car out racing. We were actually going to go down to the race. They're doing a no prep 7.0 index, and I was going to basically go up there, make sure everything was solid, and shoot straight down there. But then after finding out we were out of fuel pump, trying to turn it up, I was like, there's really no point in it. So, but the dyno session went well. I was kind of hoping the car would have made more than it did. But when we compare data between what it was on gas and what it is on E85, we picked up a good amount down low. But up above, I think it was like 5,000. I think this car is having some like an unstable valve train issue because up above about 5,000, it starts getting pretty choppy and the power dies after like 5,600. So I'll probably look into doing some springs and maybe some one of those girdles for the rocker arms to keep the valve train stable. And then hopefully, because we should be able to turn this thing out pretty high, at least to 6,000. And then the other thing too, the first pull we did it on just wastegate, so it made almost no power. Wastegate pull, it was like 2.5 to 3 pounds of boost, and the curve on for the pull was solid and smooth. But then once we started doing, like 6, 8, 10, 12, 12.5 pounds, the curve was just all over the place at high RPM. So yeah, it started getting crazy. So I really think that we got some unstable valve train action going on. Okay, rebuilt T5. So yeah, I mean, I think you'll definitely feel that in a T5, especially Johnny B. Good. Your first gear, you're going to rip through first gear on that T5 once you change those gears out, and you're going to absolutely love it. I had a 91 Fox body with a stock motor. I think it had a B-cam, 355s. Great car to drive. Super fun. You're going to have a lot of fun with that. The 273 is better, obviously, for fuel economy. You can cruise in fifth gear pretty smooth, but you'll love that 355. I think 355 is the best gear for just an all-motor stock Fox body. It was the most fun to me. Plus, you also get better drivability if you're going like long distances and stuff. Tammy's in the house. I just figured out how to chat on your video. Lucky you. Hi, guys. Hi, Tammy. Tammy's my mother-in-law. So everybody be nice, or she has zero problems talking smack to you. Johnny B, thanks. Aaron says, what head should I get for my turbo street driven 306? I got a Cameron 224 duration at 50,000, 112 low separation angle, ported RPM intake that flows 300 CFM, runner averages, trick flow 11R 170s or 11R 190s. So I love the trick flow 11R 190s, but the 170s on a 306 I think would perform great. 306, 224. I mean, 170, to be quite honest, 170 is going to perform well, but I'm just going to say go with 190s because if you're anything like the rest of us, you're always going to want more. And those 190s will flow great, whereas the 170s, they'll still work great on that combo. But in my opinion, I would just say, whatever the extra cost is for the 190s, I would go for that. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, that thing's going to flow better at higher RPM. It's going to flow, better all around. But either way, 170, that's still a stout head. I bet you a 170 would outperform these 190s I got on my car. Looking for around 600, 650 wheel. Yeah, go 190s. Don't even mess with the 170s. I canceled the Terminator X. So Rob says, I canceled Terminator X, and now I'm looking for a carbon intake kit for her. I'm going to go back next year, but I can't wait for another day. I like the control arm video. Yeah, these control arms were tore up. I got another video, well, a couple more videos coming out. I still have to edit his videos with his truck build. The engine and everything is completely out of here and in the truck. So we'll get those going. But Rob, man, I love a good carbon intake. And you know what? People kind of talk down on, not that they talk down, but they think it's like EFI or nothing. A carbon and intake on anything really, they perform well. Yeah, those Terminator X the back orders, plus they've been having a lot of them being sent back because they're having issues with them. So, it's unfortunate, but zero issues with a carbon intake in my opinion. Oh, yeah, the old ones. Just leave them there. They're garbage. So Dan says, Dan, what's the difference in horsepower on E85? So my difference in horsepower, I'll let you guys know since there's only a couple of you in here. At the top, upper RPM, I think I only made about 10 more horsepower. But the big change is down low. I picked up like 50 to 60 horsepower through the curve in some spots. So that's where, if you remember in my previous racing videos, I was running the same times. So I think, like, say I was going 650, but I did a 650 at like 108, whereas I was previously doing like 650s at like 111, 112. And it's all that power that I'm picking up down low. But my belief is that the reason why I'm not making as much more up top is due to that valve train instability. That's just my belief. We're going to test that out because, I mean, really just some valve springs and then one of those girdles to go along the rocker arms. And I feel like this thing will really start, because the curve, it's weird. The curve is like going up, 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 and then it just starts getting crazy and starts dipping. So that's why I really believe it's some valve, some valve instability.
Like having a seizure.
Yeah. What else we got? What's up, everyone? Smitty's Bad 5-0. What's up, man? Smitty's Bad 5-0 won a transmission rebuild in Brutal's live stream the other day, which was awesome because he was saying he really needs it. It's awesome that Brutal's doing that stuff too. He gives back a lot. He has the ability to do that, and I think I like seeing people who need things get things. So that to me that was super awesome. Yeah, and Smitty says go trick flow 205s. That's, if you would have threw that option up there, I would have said 205s as well. Because like I said, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the 170s, but there's really, I would say, nothing wrong with going with a bigger head, because then you have the ability to flow more or as much as you want. So Rob says, yeah, I saw all the back talk and figured I would avoid it. Yeah, all of the stuff getting sent back and get back when things are back to normal. Yeah, and I don't know what the deal is with the Holly Terminators getting sent back. I mean, mine luckily was great. Everything that was wrong with it was the operator error. But I've been hearing a lot of stuff, like harnesses pinned wrong, issues with the ECU. I mean, I don't know what it is, but what valve train are you running? So it's just, outside of the camshaft, which is Comp Cams 274HR, I have some hardened push rods, but then the valve springs is just the ones that come with the blueprint heads. And they say that they're good for 575 lift. I'm teetering with that. I think this cam is like a 565, so I'm close. But I don't know. I'd rather just get a spring that can handle more, and then, we'll give it a shot. I mean, at the end of the day, like, springs really aren't too terribly hard to change. I got the tool to do it. They're not that bad. The hardest part is, really all I'd have to do is get borrow a compressor, because you fill the cylinder with air. This way it keeps the valves up. Otherwise, you have to take the heads off. Young man, I love your work.
Thank you.
You want to talk about the truck a little bit while we got some people in here, or don't give away all your secrets, but what's the state? Move closer so they can hear.
It runs. We just changed the positive wire for the battery was just a piece of junk, so we changed that. I kind of had a little bit of he trusts me with doing it by myself while I was changing the oil in his truck. And so I thought, so there was a nut on the
starter.
On the starter. There was like a stud. And apparently it's like welded to the stud. And I thought that we had put in the old nut back on the starter. So I went to take it off, and we had to take apart the starter.
The solenoid, yeah. So John, I entrusted him. It's my fault. I should have told him. The starter cable on that truck, we were having an issue. The starter wouldn't turn the engine over. And then the other day I went to go grab the cable to see if it was loose, and it burned my hand after he just keyed it on once. So he changed out that cable, and now it's solid. But when I told John, I was like, hey, yeah, just throw the cable on. You could do it, no problem. And he like took the stud out of the starter solenoid and then it fell out. So I had to pull the starter out. And
if I had known.
That's why I said it's my fault. I didn't, my fault for not telling you. But I mean, yeah. So what else we got going on here? We can jump back because there's not that many people in here. It runs. Does it run?
Surprisingly well. Yes.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well.
I thought you were going to say surprisingly it runs.
Yes. Surprisingly well.
So how long did it take to fire up?
Probably like.
So didn't we run it? Well, you'll see. I still have to. I have to edit the videos. I've been really busy at work, so I haven't been able to edit really at all. But we did run into an issue trying to get it started, didn't we?
You could show me that. I'll get them done.
No,
while you're at work. My magical.
What did we stay on track here? What was the issue when we couldn't get it started?
Oh. You forgot to plug in something to the distributor.
You're right. First we were cranking it and we weren't getting spark, and I'm like, we're not getting spark. Let me go buy a whole new distributor, which the old distributor was trash anyway. So I went and bought a new distributor, and it still wasn't sparking. And I'm like, man, what's going on? And then I realized it wasn't sparking because I didn't have the positive 12 volts hooked up to the coil. So once I plugged that in, I scared John because when he keyed it on, I went to start it because it was just spinning and spinning and dumping fuel through, the tailpipes and everything. It did, it sounded like a shotgun blast going off because it backfired pretty good.
I was scared.
Rob, you're right. 100%. It was 180 out. We ended up I had him crank it over while I had my thumb over the number one cylinder. We were 180 out, and then once we fixed the distributor, he keyed it and it fired right off. You guys will see in the video. It might have turned over like 4 times and fired right off. His face was pretty awesome. I didn't get that on camera, but it runs. We've taken it down the road a few times. We reused a lot of the old parts like push rods, which I think one of them is like slightly bent. So it's got a little bit of valve train noise. But we're going to get, that engine was basically trash.
Once it, like, if it's like too warm after it's running for a while, you have to wait for it to cool down before you can turn it on again.
Yeah. Yeah. But it runs, it's got a little valve train tap going on. So we're going to do a set of push rods, and I think the rocker arms was actually what's making the noise. So, but as far as like it running smooth, we drove that truck for about an hour the other day, just cruising around, and that thing ran great. So, and it's fast too. It's running. I have the carb tuned pretty rich, so it blows a good amount of black smoke.
Gap some Corollas.
Yeah, right. That's probably about the only thing that thing will gap.
Maybe a Prius.
No. Hold on, let's go back a little bit. We got so he said go 205, saw that. Oh yeah, Rob won the carpet. That's right. And yeah, and that was awesome too, man. Once I saw he won that, because I know you had that flood issue. Yeah, and Smitty's right. Smitty's bad 5.0. You can build into a bigger head. That's exactly why I'm saying, between those heads, go with the 190, or like Smitty said, 205, because you can build into it, and you're going to want to build into it. If you're anything like me or any of us, it's like, 350, 400 horsepower is good. And then when you get there, it's like, okay, how about 5? Which, by the way, this guy was upset after the dyno.
I wasn't upset. You said
no, you were just like, don't
blah, blah, blah.
But you were like, those numbers
far off though.
No, those numbers don't matter. What matters is what comes up on the scoreboard or prints out on the ticket. Yeah. Which we've been doing good there, so that's really all that matters. Okay, so I was thinking 180 out. It's so cool you take time with him. Yeah. It's cool that he shares the hobby. We went to Dig or Die. What was that, 2 weekends ago or last week? That's why we didn't do a live I think it was last weekend.
Yeah.
Which that was an outstanding event. I want to race at that event so bad. Obviously not on this setup, but there was like 117 cars. It was an awesome time. We really only stayed for a few hours, but it was still a blast. What RPM does your engine make peak power at with a 274 HR? Is it a 3? Yeah, so it's a 331. Right now it makes peak power at 5,400. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm having a valve float issue. And it realistically should make peak power probably closer to 6. But we'll test that when I get the new valve springs. Actually, tonight I'm going to research or look up what valve springs I want, which will more than likely be a trick flow valve spring. But I feel like this car should make peak power closer to 5,800, maybe 57, 5,800. And to be quite honest, the first pull I did was on wastegate, and it made peak power close. It was like 57 something, 5708, I think it was. But then once I started pouring boost into it, it stopped making power after like 5,400. Smitty says, I don't know how to get my car to stop blowing the tires off first and second gear. I have UPR, upper and lower control arms, strange shocks, spool, strange 35, spline axles, 355 gears. What setting do you have those strange shocks on? Are they the single or double adjustables? And what's your, so you got 355 gears, Smitty. What's your, I'm assuming it's a stick car. Yeah, it's got to be a stick car. Rob says, nothing like big block torque. Yeah, that thing, I guarantee you could pull a giant stump out of the ground like nothing. That thing's got a boatload of low-end torque. Smitty says, I think when I get the new tranny, it'll be worse. Also, what tire are you running? Smitty, what tire are you running? Why buy 3 sets of heads? Exactly. Buy 1 set, those 205s. At least 190s, I'd say. But the 205s is where I would go. I watched all the videos from other guys. What do you think about Lutz and his pro mod at a small tire event? I mean, hey, I don't want to see pro mods at these types of events. I like seeing, the guys who, granted, these guys got money. They got money. They got cars at work. They've got, the ability to do this stuff. But to see a pro mod there, I mean, like, I was when I saw him lined up against Patches, which I heard he paid $200 to get that chip. I was like, absolutely. And I think I looked at John. I was like, Patches is going to gap him, and he absolutely did. But yeah, like I'd rather watch people who put their own time and effort and energy. Granted, I'm sure they do also with their pro mod stuff, but I don't want to see pro mods there. I'd rather see, like street-ish cars. Damn fly on the thing. Okay, so the single adjustables are set on 5. So I would say, let me see what tire you're running. Street tire, I know it should be sticky. Okay, but what street tire? I'm curious, because some street tires work. I mean, it depends on what the tread wear, I guess. Dylan Carrier, what's up, man? Dan says, heading out to a campfire. Have a great night, everyone. Dan and John, keep up the. Hey, Dan, thanks for stopping in, and have fun up there in the Adirondacks. I wish I was up there camping. So honestly, on the street, if you're trying to hook on a hard tire, I would want those shocks probably adjusted a little softer. So maybe try it on a 3. That's what I would try out and then see what it does. And then if it's worse, maybe go from a 5, go the opposite way. Maybe it needs to be stiffened up. Maybe go up to, an 8. Just got done racing at Marion with my father-in-law. Nice. Is that the one? That's up in Ohio, right? That's where the SRC guys race. I know they were doing. Where did they say they were going? Like KDS Dragway or something. I've obviously never been up there, but how'd you do racing up there? Okay. want to get a drink. LaRue, Ohio. Yeah, I watched Billy the Kid and his dad. I seen them racing there a bunch. That looks like an awesome place to race. They got some bad cars up there. A couple of them guys were down here. Yeah, they're at KD driveway. Okay, yeah. Do you guys? Aaron says, do you guys think the 11R 205 would kill the low end part throttle drivability by losing all the port velocity energy since it's only a 306? It's really just a weekend bruiser cruiser, no race car. I mean, yeah, your 205 is going to run better up top, but I would say it depends. What'd you say? You had a ported Edelbrock intake. I mean, I don't think it would kill your low end torque to where it would, the cam would realistically be what would make the car undrivable low end. But yeah, obviously with a head like that, you're going to flow better up top. So it'll probably I would assume it makes a good amount less down low. Your 170s at that point are going to make probably better low end. We made it to third round racing in pro, the 68 GTX 440 4-speed car. Nice. I love them GTX cars with a 440 too. That's is that a 6-pack car or what? Twin 4 barrels or 1 4 barrel? The 440 6-pack was pretty cool. Oh, we do got some lightning. Free lightning show. Okay, I'll try that. They're General G Max and they're 17s. Oh yeah. So to be honest, Smitty, that's more than likely your issue right there. I bet you if you just throw a stickier tire on that with the same setting, you'll probably hook a lot better. And I had my black car, my S550 that had not a Pro Charger, Paxton supercharger on it. Until I put the sticky tire on it, that thing would just blow the tires off. Once I put that sticky tire on it, it was a Mickey Thompson ET Street SS. I mean, the thing would just hook and go. Or even if it spun, it was still grab enough to go.
Wasn't it like a centrifuge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Centrifugals.
Michael W. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. What's up, Regular Guy Garage? What's up, man? I'm going to pronounce it. Watanabe. Am I right? Let's see. Ported RPM 1 intake. Yeah, and yeah, your 205 is going to should make less low end, especially on a 306, and more top end. But hey, middle of the road, I'd say on 190s, between 190s and 170s, I don't think you'll notice a difference in any loss of torque. I'd say your 190s, the best of both worlds there, if that's what you're looking for, Aaron. You say that now, Aaron, you'll upgrade. Yeah, the 274 HR. And yeah, that's a good cam for it's a good cam that's big enough to have fun, but then it's small enough to be drivable. That's, to be quite honest, I actually might reach out to Donnie B and see. I don't know if they do custom cams. I would assume they would, but to see about getting something that'll be, a little wilder for this thing. What did the car make on a dyno? 600 on 14 pounds. We didn't go up to 14. We ran out of fuel pump. I'll say it did not make 600. Yeah. But it was, at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, we picked up between 30 and 60 horsepower below 5,000 throughout the entire curve. And then I'm confident the valve train is the reason why we're not picking up as much up top. So I feel with valve springs, if we just take it and it allows it to make peak power out to where it should, close to 6,000, just right there, it would make more power, I would say, much more on that same tune. I didn't see what that is. Serious guys, I need an intake and a good 650 carb. I got a 650 carb here, but it's trash. Honestly, Rob, I'd look into a 750 to be honest. I mean, 650 is more than enough, but I remember the three. Well, it depends, I guess, what cubic inch you have. 347. I had the guy that bought it for me switched from the 650. No, it was a 600, I think, to a 750, and that thing woke up like, man, these bugs. It's because we got all the light in here.
Yeah.
If you want to see the car, check out Brewer Racing. John, you want to check that out? Check out Brewer Racing on YouTube. You'll see the silver GTX, a yellow Roadrunner. Oh, man, the Roadrunner is one of my favorite cars. You like them too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the, what is it, like 68, the square ones? Even the 70, like early 70s Roadrunners were really nice.
Remember when I think we went to like some museum in South Carolina with, I think I went with Grandma.
I was gonna say I don't have that capacity.
We went to some museum and they had a Roadrunner. I think that too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite cars. The Plymouth Roadrunners.
Brewer Racing.
Yeah, he said Brewer Racing on YouTube. That's what I was thinking. Maybe next move after I get the training fixed. Thanks. You ever use B31 cam? I've never used a B31 cam. All those Anderson cams, I'd say, are great. I really have never heard anything bad about an Anderson cam. I know a lot of people use the N41. I think it's a little wilder than the B series. I could be wrong, though. If Donnie B pops up in here, ask him because that's his.
Kenton Brewer? No, that's a.
He said Brewer Racing on YouTube.
Yeah, we only got used to.
Is it Kenton Brewer Racing? Is it? Just click on it. Is there a silver GTX? No. What are they racing? Are they racing tractors?
No, like one of those little, like dirt cars, like
okay.
NASCAR.
I had a trick flow a TFS 190 on a bone stock 302. It was a beast down low. I wish I bought some 205s, but I have a turbo, so it's different for me. Yeah, turbos are different. They say you can make the same power on no matter what size head or what brand of 190 or whatever size head, but with boost. So now I have a fuel pump upgrade to do as well. Yes. I'm not going to upgrade it. I guess technically I'm going to upgrade it, Pip. I'm just going to get the same pump that I have and just run it parallel. So I'll run 2 380s. Oh, you found it? Okay, sweet. Oh, yeah, he's got a GTO. Oh, man, look at that Roadrunner. Yeah, so that's like a 70, 71-ish it looks. Oh, yeah, right there, 71. Ooh, look at that GTX, man. Black hood. That thing's sweet. Yeah, John's we're both we love muscle cars, man, like old school muscle cars and stuff. Love those things.
That on my home screen.
Yeah, we can check those out later. Let's see. What's up, everyone? Those are solid numbers, Dan. You made 525. No, I didn't have the boost up that high. I didn't get up to 525. It was pretty low 500s. It was about 500, I mean, if I'm to be honest. But I ran out of fuel pump at 500, so if I had more fuel pump, we would have been able to go a little higher. But I think, to be quite honest, I guarantee with a set of valve springs and getting that valve train stable, it would have made 550, I'd say. Because we were only pulling it. I was shutting it down at 50, like 5480. Once I saw that on the tack, I would shut it down.
It smells a bit like burnt oil.
Well, yeah, because it was.
Yeah, I
know. Somebody said something about a 351. Yeah, let me go back. That's what's good about being like such a small channel where only a couple people show up is we don't get too many comments. Did I?
Yeah, you pass it. No. Wait.
He said it was
Let me see.
Whatever. We'll come back to it. No, it's just Brew Racing. Okay, yeah, he found it. You got some bad cars, man. We're gonna watch more of them later, or we're gonna watch your videos later. Funky, you just woke up. What, you been partying all day? Wait, no, he just woke up to party all night. That's why he just woke up. Yeah, dude, I'm fashionably late to everybody's live stream. Some, people are like live streaming tonight at 6, like you're 6:30. I'm like, okay, 6:30, I'm gonna be there. And then by like 8 o'clock, I'm like, oh crap. Tim Webb says, I'm getting worried about your tune, man. You have a better setup than me at the dyno. At least today showed lower. I have more work to do. You're worried about my tune? Also, just because we have like engine setup, you have to take into account maybe converter. I don't remember, Tim, were you a stick car or auto car? I think, did you have a C4 as well? My converter, we were having some converter issues too. The converter we flashed up on it a couple times and then it would lug the motor down too. The tune's fine, 100%. The tune is perfectly fine. We messed with it a whole bunch where we would throw a whole bunch of fuel in it, see what it does, which would kill power. We would yank a whole bunch of fuel out of it. It wouldn't like it. And then even with timing, throwing a whole bunch of timing or yanking a whole bunch out, throwing a whole bunch in. The car is making the power that it's going to make. The dyno thing, like I love the dyno as a tool for getting, tunes and stuff right. But at the end of the day, the car's been going faster down the track every single time. So, I mean, based off the data that we're showing, the way the log looks, and then the way the dyno graph looks, how at low RPM, it's more stable than when I start, really, when it starts to rev up really hard and fast, that's when it looks like. And so there you go, Tim. You got a turbo 400, so completely separate transmission, completely separate converter. So who knows what the difference is between loss of power or whatnot between those two transmissions. Just because the engine is the same. And I agree. Like I was pretty upset when I saw like, okay, we made over 500, but we were right around 500. And it was like, man, I thought it would have made more. But then when you yank up the graph and it's like, yeah, it made 60 horsepower more down low. That's kind of where I'm looking at, mechanical issues over tuning. What timing spark gap are you running? I mean, timing is obviously different depending on boost level. What was I, like 24, 25 degrees? Spark gap was like 24 thousandths. I mean, it ran smooth, just like I said, and plus it was 98 degrees and 60% humidity.
It was like 55.
55? Yeah. So that obviously don't help too.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really don't care about dyno numbers. I care how the car performs at the track, and it's been consistently better and faster. When I smell pour 15, I wake up. Do you take I bet you Funky, when he gets ready to go out for the day, he probably swigs a shot of pour 15. Your ride's really starting to rock. Yeah, it's getting there. I'm getting towards a crossroads to where I don't want to throw too much into this combo because I have other plans, bigger and better plans. So I really don't want to like throw thousands of dollars into like maybe heads or whatever. And I kind of want to, now that I'm getting really close to 5 seconds on this setup, which I guarantee you it's there with that extra fuel pump. And if I throw the boost, because the time that I went, the boost level that I went, it didn't even make 500 horsepower on that. And we went 630s. But that's on that dyno. If you take it to a different dyno, it might make 500. Who knows? Thinking about a blow-through carb setup with a 5-speed. Nice. Yeah, we were talking carbs earlier. I forget who was saying. Rob Loch Ness. He, going carb and stuff, and I have zero issue with a good, a carb motor. Bean 79 Beans in the house. What's up, man? Funky 50 King Pour 15. Slap that stuff. That is what that man does. Are they sponsoring you yet? Because they need to be. You need to email them and tell them to sponsor you. Losing connection. I have a lot of buffering. Yeah, I noticed the little wireless logo keeps coming up. We probably have 6 kids playing Xbox right now, so I apologize for that. What kind of Paxton Supercharge you have? Did you have oh yeah, so my S550 I had a 2200 Navi, and then I had Lund Racing tune it. That car made I think like 680 or 700 to the wheels on pump gas. Pour 15, yeah, it coats your insides. Boost Streamer, what's up, man? Yeah, I talked to Boost Streamer. I talked to Josh about getting your car up on the dyno, and he is 100% ready to go with it. Also, we have something really interesting and fun, and I'm glad people are bringing up the fact that my car doesn't make the horsepower that they think it makes, because we have something fantastic in store for not this weekend coming up, the weekend after. I'm not going to lead you guys onto it. You guys will just have to see it, but it's something that we've never seen on the internet. We talked about it for like an hour, and like we're getting goosebumps and stuff. It's going to involve this car, a dyno, and stuff.
Some other stuff.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Some stuff.
It's just me. We were out in the middle of nowhere on the way home. Yeah, that might be it. If you're on an interstate, they usually got good what's it called? Wi-Fi. Got an idea of the horsepower limit on your turbo. So Pip Tyson, they say on 3 says 800. I don't think it or no, 600. 650. Was it 650?
What?
The horsepower limit. You don't know. I'm talking to myself. Hey. I want to say it was either 650 or 800. But I'm definitely not. I'm only pushed it to, I think it made 12.1 today. The boost controller has it wiggle between like 11.9 and 12.1. Definitely can make more because I made 23 on it by accident that one day. Nice. How long that Paxton last or lasting? The guy who bought it reached out to me not long ago. It's changed hands a few times, but a guy found me obviously through YouTube, and he was like, "Hey man, I got your old car. Still running fine. Still running great." That car didn't last long on the initial Paxton. I blew the motor on that one, and then I had it rebuilt. Or I rebuilt it. It had Wiseco pistons. I forget what kind of rods. It's built pretty stout now, but he still has like the 3.6 pulley. So I think it only makes maybe 10 pounds. That car would have been fun to throw like an E85 setup on. I bet you that thing would have made 850 easy. What else we got? We use a lot of Pour 15 at MCSC Green Wheels YouTube channel. Nice. Funky is the Pour 15 king. Funky, you got some competition going on if you're still in here. Tall Starlight. Dude, I'm excited and ready. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. It's better, like I said, tuning out on the road here. The neighbors were not happy, so it's better off to throw it on the dyno though, because then at least you get some graphs and you can see the horsepower changes. So when people are like, "Man, I'm worried your tune is off," you can see like that it's what it's supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, like every car is different. You look at what the car likes and doesn't like, and like when I made a change in the, we were making drastic changes to see what the car liked, didn't like. And then, sometimes you throw a degree or two in it and it makes 3 more horsepower, and take that 2 degrees or whatever out, because you don't need to stress the motor for 3 horsepower that you're never going to feel. So. What is good budget heads? V2S trim, Vortec 306. I'd say GT40s. GT40 is a great budget head. They work great. Funky says, trying to work my buddy over for that Power Dyne. Dude, those things, I remember them back in the day. They were like the cheaper Fox centrifugal supercharger. I love those like old school blowers. I'm already maybe getting his GT40 heads, new valves, new valve, probably new valves, Beehive Springs, Ginger stuff. Yeah, I still have to look at that picture. I was driving when you text me that picture of the floor pan. Which, by the way, I had, after I did the what did I just do? Control arms.
Yeah.
I got because I ordered the ones, like I said, without the sway bar bracket. I ordered the anti-roll bar, which is now welded and put in. So we got to get that thing set. Right now it's just set neutral. So there's really no sense. We're not going to the track until I get that extra fuel pump installed. I have another one over here, a 255, but I'd rather just throw in another 380. So I'll have dual 380s. Which should be more than enough to get us through. Luckily, I went with a bigger injector, so as the fuel pressure was diving off, the injector duty cycle just went up, and it basically kept us from grenading this thing. Luckily, I mean, in the Holly too, the Holly corrects for it. So at the end of the day, the computer saves it, but you don't want to rely on that. Rob says, I also have a 558-443 US CAN bus harness. That's the splitter, right, Rob? I just bought one of those off Donnie B. No, Rob, that don't make me mad. If anyone wants to buy it, Rob's got a CAN bus splitter. And the man that I just talked about, Donnie B. What's up, man? How you been? Turbo Man 351 Windsor, what is up? Yeah, Turbo Man, I've been checking out some of your videos. You got a badass car. Donnie B, I was talking about, do you guys do custom grinds over there? Which, by the way, again, shout out to Donnie B. I bought the splitter off him. If you didn't see in the last video, if you're in here, he sent me 2 T-shirts, which I wore like right away, so I didn't even get to show them. I'll wear them in my next videos and show them off. And then a Trick Flow hat, which John snagged. Didn't have to. We were super appreciative of that stuff, which was awesome. And then he sent me a sticker too, which is right here, actually. Boom, right there. So go to AndersonFordMotorsport.com. I didn't realize you guys had so much stuff on that website too. Donnie B in the house. Boost Streamer emailed you about the splitter today. Smitty's Bad 50. Thanks for stopping in, bud. Hope you have a good night. Funky says, Donnie B, my buddy is looking for a B41. What was sweet? Tall Starlight. MCS. Oh, is that what you're looking at? MCSC Green Wheels is doing 2 Fox body builds that are going to be exhibited in veteran museums, art galleries, car shows, car museums around the USA. That is awesome. I hope they come to the Special Operations Museum then down here in Fort Bragg or near Fort Bragg, because I will 110% go and check those out. No custom grinds right now since I bought the Ford cores for N41. Okay, sweet. Yeah, Donnie, I've been looking at doing a little bit bigger cam or a bigger cam than this 274 HR. Oh, yeah, we'll have to check those out later. I like that gray one. Yeah, guys, check that out. MCSC Green Wheels. Got a lot of videos up there too, all Fox body stuff. So guys, give that Tall Starlight. Thanks for that recommendation. Go ahead and check those guys out. Huh? Yeah, you got a lot of stuff. Turbo Man 351 says, "Thanks, man. Getting ready to have Joe Simpson tune the car on Tuesday. Nice, Joe Simpson. He's like the best tuner out there, I think, right now. I love watching Joe Simpson videos. I would assume he puts your video car in one of his videos, which would be awesome to see that. And then, well, obviously see it on your channel too, hopefully.
Slipped off the chair.
I like Joe Simpson too, because his videos, he'll just throw like little random, like he'll say something and then throw like a little skit in it real quick. It's funny. Okay, Michael says, Donnie B, how's the B31 HR cam? Donnie B says, I don't have any B41s. Unfortunately, not sure when I'll get more. Okay, Tall Starlight. We will be there. Sweet. Once you guys are down there at I'll be on the lookout for it. It's only right down the road not right down the road, but I mean it's maybe 15, 20 miles away. We will 110% check those out. I'm excited for that actually. B31HR is an excellent cam for the street and more mid-range and top-end power. Badass 93 Stangs. What's up, man? Dylan Carey says, I've already watched some of their videos. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to watch them later. They had a lot of stuff up, so we'll have a lot to catch up on. And it's always good to see, people bring stuff to like the veteran community and all that stuff. I mean, granted, we get a lot of support, which is awesome, but there's a lot of people out there that definitely need it and stuff like that. It kind of gives them something to look forward to and see. So that's really awesome that you guys are doing that stuff. Funky says, Donnie B he's having to go X303 for his 347 Vortec with new AFR 165s. Donnie says, yeah, Dan, I'm running the 274 HR cam in mine too. I do have a new cam called the B41T that I'm going to test out for turbo specific cam. Let me know how that goes, Donnie. That's kind of like, and Donnie, you'd probably know more than me. I think I'm running into some, and I was talking about it earlier, some instability in the valve train. We went to the dyno today. The car made outstanding power down low, picked up between 30 and 60 horsepower, but then right as it kind of sneaks above like 5,051 at closer to 5,400 RPM, the graph starts getting crazy. And then the power just like it dives off hard. And especially above 5,600, it takes a nosedive. Like there's definitely some valve float, I believe. So what I was going to do was do a set of good valve springs, what valve springs would you recommend? And then maybe one of those like rocker arm girdles to keep the valves a little more, or the rocker arms more stable. Because the fact that on low boost, when it's not ramping up, when the engine's not revving up so hard, the graph is just so smooth. And then it just gets so crazy once I, put, basically another 10 pounds in it or what, 6, 8. When I really get over 8 pounds is when it starts kind of getting all crazy. And then it even gets worse as I go higher in boost. And we messed with the tune a whole bunch today, high and low, and it didn't care. So that's why we're thinking it's mechanical with the valve train. Funky says, Tall Starlight, I met you guys at Bleed Forward Blue Fest. MSC Green Wheels is where Kenneth Sean started. Nice. Kenneth Sean from Blue Oval Media, which I'm sure all you guys know more than me. He does some great stuff. Love watching his stuff. Plus, he's an awesome dude. Great attitude and everything. Sorry, his 185 okay, so not 165s, 185s. Donnie says, yeah, mine did the same thing. Happened on the dyno after 5,500 valve float power dies off. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. We noticed that it starts around 50, like late, maybe close to 5,400, and then it just tanks right after 55, 56. And I tried everything. We threw a full point of fuel in it, didn't care. We took timing out of it, didn't care. We put timing in it, didn't care. Did the same thing. So that's when we were like, okay, this is mechanical. Donnie says, hey, Funky, the B41HR cam is in stock and works great for boosted 347s. MCSC green wheels are my buddies. Tall Starlight, are you guys doing like all bases in the country, or like do you have a specific area that you're going to these veteran events and all that stuff with these Fox bodies? That's the other thing good about being close to Fort Bragg is everything comes here because it's such a big place and there's so many people here.
Is that like the biggest base?
Biggest, yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks because when I have to go somewhere, sometimes I got to drive an hour and a half, and I'm used to like, where we're from in Jersey, like you drive an hour and a half, you're in a different state. Here I drive an hour and a half, I'm in the same county, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, dude, that's awesome. And I'll put the word out too. I have a lot of friends who are into cars, but obviously are spread out throughout the country. I could really go anywhere and have somebody that I know or stay at through my work. So I'll put the word out so they go and get some support out there for your guys' thing.
Yeah, in Jersey, you drive like 30 minutes and you're like 7 towns over.
Right. I remember my wife, the first time I took her to Jersey, I was like, yeah, let's go get some ice cream. And she was like, well, where is it? I was like, oh, it's in the next town over. And she was like, oh, really? Like, I don't want to be in the car forever. It was literally like a mile and a half. We just crossed the bridge, and I was like, yeah, it's 5 minutes away, not even.
It was in
South River. Yeah.
Somewhere I was thinking South Amboy.
Oh, no, that's...
I was like, because the Amboy Bank.
It's getting pretty late. Let's see what we got here. Donnie says, for valve springs, I would get something with a 150-200 seat pressure and a 425-450 open pressure. It's more about the cam, though, and the ramp and duration at 20,000 just beats up the valve train with comp cams. Yeah. I think the open pressure on this, I want to say, is in like the 350s. They rate them up to 575 lift, but I know the 274s gets up, 564 lift. And I'm going to look for, like a much heavier spring to get in this thing. And like I said, that girdle, I think just that right there would just drastically change the dyno graph. Loch Ness Fox, going to hit it. Have a great night and chat soon. Really enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping in, Rob. We really appreciate the continued support. And yeah, keep us updated, man. I'm a little upset you got not upset. I'm a little upset at Holly, actually, that they couldn't get you your Terminator X, but I'm glad you're going carb. You're going to have fun with it. At the end of the day, I just want to see you get back on the road with that thing and have fun, especially after having that flood issue. So good luck, buddy. Tall Starlight, been building two Coyote Fox bodies, but I had some setbacks due to a bad paint shop. I hate bad. Like anytime a shop, I guess as long as they make it right, like people mess up, but
you drop off the Mustang one place, and it just took like a month to get it back.
That happens a lot with me. My name's not Cletus, so I drop something off, and they're like, "Yeah, okay." Like our money's no good, but whatever. It is what it is. A lot of these places are busy too, but I'm okay with people making mistakes as long as they make it right.
Yeah,
because that's what I would do. Like Michigan, it's 6 hours from Grand Rapids to Sault Ste. Marie up in UP. I'm assuming the UP is the Upper Peninsula. I only know that because of my friend. She always talks about the Upper Peninsula. 2.5 hours from Detroit. What's up, Monster?
Can you open it?
Yep.
I could have opened it.
You make your faces for the night? Nanny was on here. I don't think she's still in here, but Nanny said hi. She was here earlier. Okay, bye. You say salt, I as Sue. Okay. We were talking about Coyote Fox bodies earlier today, weren't we?
Yeah, because you brought up the S550. So we were talking about superchargers.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I meant when we were going back from
Yeah.
the dyno.
So we were talking about superchargers. Then I got the S550s. Then I got the Black Mustang. I got the S550s. Then I got the Coyote Fox bodies.
Oh yeah. It's pronounced. Is that so or Sue? Sue Saint Marie, Mary, whatever.
Marie. Yes, Marie.
Sue Saint Marie. Are you happy with the upper intake swap? I haven't noticed a difference really with it yet. Probably more so because this intake flows better at high RPMs, and I'm having that high RPM valve float issue. But I mean, thing works. It works great. I mean, haven't run it down the track yet, obviously, which is what we need to do. But once I get that other fuel pump in and tie it in, so I'm not running out of fuel, we'll be able to really see. So Donnie B said, recap for me. I missed your dyno session info. What went down? So what we did basically, one, I wanted to make sure the tune was spot on as far as air fuel. And then we played a little bit with the timing because I really haven't done anything since I put the upper intake on. And then also wanting to just dial in the E85, see how much timing I could use in it, so on and so forth. Basically what happened was it made about 10 horsepower more at the same boost level than I did on gas at max RPM. So it was a little over 500 on 12 pounds, but down low, below 5,200 really, it was picking up like 30 to 60 horsepower in some spots. So we were kind of upset because I thought it was really going to make 550. But I really think that it's because of that, again, valve float, valve train instability thing. The other thing too that we noticed, because we pulled up an old dyno graph with the old boost controller, the boost would just continually ramp up and continue on up. So the boost curves on those things would, when I would say, hey, this pull was on 12 pounds, it would really kind of run through 12 pounds and then go up to say 13 or 14 or whatever. Whereas with the 4-port Mac valve, it gives me my 12 and then holds it all the way out. So there's really no like gradual, the curve doesn't really take off like it did, before, because it's maintaining the boost level that I'm commanding. But yeah, that was really it. I mean, we picked up a ton down low, but up top, it didn't give us what I thought it was going to give us. But again, at the same time, 98 degrees. We were on lower E, like E72, I think. And then pretty humid day too. So at the end of the day, though, what we were trying as far as air fuel, taking fuel out, putting fuel in, timing out, timing in, we got the thing locked in. So it's set at where it's going to make the most power. And then same thing with timing. I could make, I think it's 8 more horsepower with an extra degree, but I took that degree out because I don't want to really tax the motor for 8 horsepower. How much does your Fox body weigh? 2950 with me in it. So yeah, this over 500 horsepower in a 2,900 pound car. The thing flies. I mean, it'll go 9 seconds. I guarantee it. Fuel pump, that's also it. Fuel pump we ran out of fuel. So that's the other thing too, is on my last pull, which was 12-ish pounds, fuel pressure went from 70 all the way down to like 39. Injector duty cycle spiked. Luckily, I got these bigger injectors because the injector duty cycle spiked up just to about 100. So I just I'm going to tie in another 380 and run it parallel, which should be more than enough to, at least for this stock block setup. Joseph Ware, I'm here. We are here. Good to see you in here. That weight is impressive. Yeah, I gutted a lot out of this car. If I didn't need it, I tore it out. Got rid of the power steering, its manual steering rack, got rid of basically everything I did. The what I want to do is yank the dash out and get everything back there that I don't need out of it, but I'm really just waiting for that. And again, I don't want to go too crazy with this setup because, like I said, I have bigger and better aspirations for this car. And, this isn't obviously the end state. But for now, I mean, we'll keep messing with it. And I want to at least, I know I can go 590s on this thing. And I think valve springs is our trick. What fuel are you running? E85. Pump E85. So I get anywhere between E60 and E75 is the highest I've seen. I have manual steering and brakes too, smalls in the front. Yeah. Yeah, and Josh over the Underground Garage was pretty impressed too because his car, he's got a notchback. Granted, he has full interior, but his weighs like 32-ish, whereas we're still, like I said, I'm 200 pounds, so I'm actually a little over 200 if I'm being honest. And they have a scale at Galat Motorsports Park, and I pulled onto it after a pass, and it said 2950. That too. And Tim, are you running full interior? Because I don't have any interior minus a aluminum seat. Yeah, Tim, he has a twin turbo LS. Unfortunately, he blew it up at Streetcar Takeover. So he's actually, I won't get in. I'll let him talk about his stuff whenever he makes videos. But his rebuild, that car is going to be way faster than it is right now, or than it was. Kirky's seat in a cage. Dang, I wonder why. I don't, unless their scale was off. When I pulled up to that thing, 2950 with me sitting in it. What time is it? We've been at this for about an hour and 15 minutes now. Yeah.
12.
Huh?
Hour 12.
Oh, sorry. Hour 12.
3 minutes off.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. But we've been doing a lot of filming. Like I said, I just haven't had the time to edit. So John's engine build, the culmination is gonna come next. Like we said, the truck's running, it runs great. So that'll come next, and then I have more stuff on this. Obviously, the dyno session, fixing the suspension, getting the stuff welded in. And then I'll obviously have more because I have a fuel pump to put in and so on and so forth. Valve springs. So, and then also, yeah, like I said, that next video, not next video, but one of the future videos that I have that me and Josh at the Underground Garage were talking about, we're excited for it. And if you're seeing this, you should, I'm not going to lead you into it, but it's going to be something that we definitely haven't seen on the internet that people think they know everything about. And so we're just going to be like, we were talking, we're like, you know what? We are going to prove this right here and right now. We got the dyno to do it. So that's what we're going to do.
Some good stuff coming up.
Yeah. All right, guys. But thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. It was a good live session. Good chat. Always appreciate talking to everyone. And as always, take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Wait, one more question. One more question.
What did it say? What heads are you running?
No.
A Blueprint engine 190cc. You aren't too far from me here in VA. Any good machine shops you have? Honestly, no. My machine shops that I've gone to have taken forever. Sorry, bud. But all right, guys. That's it. Take care. See you later.